Europe, famous of course in the 80s for that #1 smash hit, The Final Countdown, will release a brand new 5-track mini album next week called Last Look at Eden. The Swedish Rockers will follow it up with a bigger version next month. I've been talking to the band's lead singer Joey Tempest, who's been telling me that England's very much his home these days.
Well, here's some information not many people know. I actually live in London. I've lived there since 2001. I have a wife that's from up north, close to Darlington. I have a son, it's going to be 2 in October, and I'm hooked on London. I've been here a long, long time.
So in a sense, this is not a visit. This is just part of your day job.
Yeah, it's a good thing though, because there's a good vibe around our new album, Last Look at Eden, and it's some good press, and I get to go into London and do interviews and things, and it's very flattering.
Tell me about Last Look at Eden. It's the title of your brand new album. What can fans expect from this?
Well, what can I say? We've done 3 albums now since we've come back. The first album, Start From the Dark, was Raw Diamond, sort of almost like a debut album. Secret Society, we pushed the limits, tried to make it a modern rocker album. I think Last Look at Eden just happened organically. We came off the tour and we did an album that we really love, and what can I say about it? It's if you like a classic rock album with a modern twist, this is it. I think it has links to the 70s and our influence. It also had links to even our 80s albums, some of our 80s albums, but it's still a modern rock album. It's got those big choruses, guitar riffs and solos you remember. I don't know, it feels special. I don't know why, but people are starting to talk about Europe again a little bit. It's just one of those things that happen, you know. It's an interesting release. We'll see where it leads.
In this day and age when the charts are dominated by quite a lot of commercial releases, we've got a lot of R&B that's around, a lot of pop that's around, some indie as well. Is there space, do you think, for rock? Is there enough rock actually doing the rounds these days?
It feels like a bit of a change is going on, because there's a lot of festivals, there's a lot of live opportunities for rock bands. Even there's popping up radio shows here and there that are beginning to adapt this genre called classic rock or hard rock. There is a need for it, there is a space for it. I think it's happening right now. We'll see. But for us it works. If you're a good rock band, you can go out and play live, you can live on it, you can make some money there on that side. Record business has changed. We're lucky though. We can release albums, we can record them, and we can play live all around the world. We're very lucky, as I said, and we're just going to keep building on it.
It's an interesting time, as you say, because of what's happening with the live scene, because there are so many festivals now that exist in the United Kingdom. To me, it seems like a fantastic time for bands, for individuals who can genuinely perform their own music.
Yeah, it is a good time. And also what's happening is that we've noticed, we've done a few of these festivals now, extreme metal festivals, where they invite some classic rock bands. It happened on Download this year. I think Def Leppard and Whitesnake played, and some other bands. It happened in Hellfest in France, where it's only been metal bands. They invited us and some other classic rock bands and hard rock bands, and it seems like that's what's happening, that these bands, these extreme metal bands, also were influenced by classic rock, and they also go back, they link to the 70s, and everything is sort of coming together a little bit, and it's interesting times in that sense.
And it is interesting, the fact that the likes of yourself, Europe, you've got Def Leppard, as you said, even Journey in the last 6 months, they've got back together again. All of these names that were particularly household names maybe 20 years ago are back doing exactly the same thing again.
Yeah, they are. And no, in Journey's case, they have been touring quite a lot. But like you say, coming to the light, coming to the broader sense of media and everything, yeah, Journey was a great influence on us too when we grew up. There are so many opportunities, so many live festivals that these bands can play, and you know, some of them are great to see, and you just want to go out there and see them, you know.
Joey Tempest is with us tonight here on BBC Radio Humberside's evening show. Joey from Europe. Shall we take one from the brand new album?
Yeah, absolutely.
More now with the lead singer of Swedish rockers Europe, Joey Tempest, on BBC Radio Humberside's evening show tonight. He's been telling me about the band's breakup in 2001.
Final Countdown was the third album, and we started very, very young. So we toured and released 5 albums in a 10-year period. 1992, we took a break. I think the last gig was in Portsmouth. I wanted to make a solo album. We also wanted to take a little break. We worked non-stop for 10 years. The break became a bit too long, and we did keep in contact. We knew that we never officially closed the band or anything, but we knew knew that one day we'd start again. It just took a bit of time. We ended up in solo contracts and so forth and everything. We managed to get the comeback album 2004, but since then it's been non-stop. We've done 3 albums now, 5 years. We're touring constantly, and we're building up the respect again. We're building up, trying to convince people that this is a pretty good rock band, and that's what we need to do. To get people to trust us that we're here.
When you've all been together for so long, and you've been a team, if you like, as well as friends, you're a team, and then you disband, is it hard for an individual, for you, when you've actually split up from your friends? Does it make it really hard on a relationship with the other band members? It
was difficult. I mean, it was a difficult decision for all of us. We had long discussions of how long, why we're taking a break and how long, and everybody knew we needed it. But we were missing each other terribly during the break, calling each other, visiting each other, and sort of it was an underlying sort of question: when are we doing this? When are we doing this? Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling to have this job now with people you've known since you were teenagers, that you built a dream with, you were out partying with, watching shows together with, and now we're working together still. It is amazing.
In the last few months, the group Nickelback, they released the song Rockstar, about sort of poking fun, really, about the rockstar lifestyle and the women on speed dial and the cars and the Hollywood Hill houses, that kind of thing. I don't know, did you hear the song? Did you actually catch that song?
Yeah, I've heard the song, absolutely.
Is that a true reflection of a rock style lifestyle?
Well, we went through all that. We were just young punks from outskirts of Stockholm, starting a dream. We wanted to tour like Deep Purple and Thin Lizzy. That's what was our dream. On our 3rd album, thanks to Final Countdown and stuff, we had a crossover and we started breaking all over the world. And yeah, we got a taste of it. We had bodyguards, we had private planes, helicopter rides, best hotels in New York, London, Paris, everything. We kept the focus though. We didn't lose our foothold, and then we need to make new albums. Let's not get too carried away. But I mean, that is one ride, I'm telling you. And if you go through it, I mean, you can look at it in a humoristic way, you can look at it in a cynical way, but you're quite young and you just sort of go with it, We just went with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's talk some more in a few minutes' time. You mentioned Final Countdown. We should really stick it on at this point, shouldn't we? We should give it a play. Joey Tempest from Europe is with us tonight here on BBC Radio Humberside. More to come. Final Countdown from Europe, and from the group Joey Tempest is with us tonight. Tell me about releasing that song. It was a monster #1, not just here in the United Kingdom, but right across Europe and across to America as well. How did life change for you when that song went as big as it did?
Yeah, it was a big moment. I mean, we've done 2 albums already. We've toured locally in Sweden, Scandinavia, I should say, and Japan sort of woken up to us. But the 3rd album, Final Countdown, that was, I remember got a phone call saying, you're #1 in Holland, and they seem to think it's going to spread. And that was the first message we got. And then it's just started getting to #1 everywhere. The biggest change for us was that we had to do all these TV shows and playback shows all of a sudden, because we were live musicians. So that was a sort of a shocker. But what an amazing ride to meet all these fans and people all around the world, and then build on that, because the album after that was an even bigger tour. And so I mean, what a ride.
With a song like that, is there the danger that you actually become the victims of your own success because the record company demands more songs commercially successful as that? The fans possibly do, and to attract more fans, there's an expectancy that there'll be the 2nd Final Countdown, then the 3rd, then the album to follow. Was there that weight of expectancy upon you?
I think so. We tried to ignore it because we realized that if we would do Final Countdown 2, 3, 4, we would self-destruct. We wouldn't like it, and then we would milk it, and it would be wrong. So we made a conscious decision. Let's move on and try to write and learn, get better our instruments and lyrics, and move on. And I think in the long run, it's paid off for us. There's a lot of interest right now for the band, and I think we could have killed ourselves a little bit if we tried to just do that type of sound or music, try to milk it. So, no, I think we did the right thing in the long run, but there was a lot of pressure for a while there. I think the record company wanted something, but the follow-up, the first single after Final Countdown on the following record after this was Superstitious, which did quite well. So I think we managed to steer away from it somewhat, but yeah, I mean, a song like that, it's just got a life of its own, it's hard to copy, you know.
It's proved to be quite a successful piece of business for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could call it a good pension, I suppose, but it's also good for us because people hear it and they get a bit curious. What are they doing? Are they recording? Do they have other songs? And we realize that we get a new audience out when we play live, a younger audience that maybe have been exposed to that song and they want to check us out. So it's sort of helping to spread the message as well, that song, you know.
Tell me about the immediate future for you, Joey, and the rest of Europe. What else is planned for the next few months?
Yeah, we're doing festivals in Europe, all around Europe, summer festivals, and then we do a long tour in Germany for about 4 weeks in November. Then we're doing some Scandinavian dates. And a big European tour starts in January, which should have UK and Ireland directly after in February, and then Japan and America and stuff next year. So 2009, 2010, it's full of Last Look at Eden concerts and all kinds of stuff.
Just one final question. Are you conscious of the fact that there is this sort of kitsch value in a sense about the rock of the 80s, the permed haircuts, I guess really the kind of poodle rock style that came out in the 1980s? Are you conscious of the fact that some may poke fun at that?
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy target. I mean, but if it's some quality there, if there's some musicianship, and I think the 80s had some good stuff. I think the production, maybe production values, echoes and digital delays and everything took it a bit too far, perhaps. Some MTV elements of the looks and everything might have gone a bit too far. But if you strip it all off, there's the good music is coming back. You know, there was some quality there, and you know, there were some fun moments. I mean, of course. I mean, my only thing when I was growing up, I thought Robert Plant was the coolest looking thing. You know, he's probably the reason why I had that hairdo, because it was just cool looking and very young. Sort of we were, and we just went with it and we had a good time.
Joey, good to have you on the programme tonight. Congratulations on the new album. Good to chat to you tonight.
All right, thank you.